Hey folks, today I want to talk about about another batch of paper computer games, the Alien Invasion series. So last time I talked about the Mole Men saga, like a series of two games where I went in a new direction and, explored a new planet inhabited by mole men in the center of it. This time I am around the same time as I made the Mole Men games. I went in another completely new direction, and these games take place on Earth again, but this time Earth is being invaded by some aliens, and it's from an interesting perspective. So let's dive right in. There's 3 games. The first one is called Alien Invasion Part 0, Prologue, a paper computer game. So this game starts, and the player plays as this guy who is the alien advance scout. We don't know his name. He's just been dropped off by this here flying saucer. And he's just here as an advanced scout to learn what he can to prepare for the invasion and to, if he can, to weaken humanity, to prepare us for being taken over as much as possible. And so I was still being goofy at the time, so as you can see, this is the Earth building. Humans live here, so obviously this is a good place to start on his journey. So inside the building, so we have some humans here, and they are defending the place. We've got a clock. We've got this guy who is like, he's armed. And this guy, who I called the mutant human, he was more dangerous than the other humans. He has horns. I don't really know why. So once you get past those guys, you gotta, you can't get to the door without beating them. So you have to, figure out, I think you had to shoot the clock. I forget what that does, but you had to get rid of these guys in order to get through the door. And once you do, you get a traditional fat guy screen. Looks like you've got some Slim Fast, and you have to use what you have. Let's see what's in your inventory. Laser gun, Slim Fast, and band. So, yeah, I guess you had to somehow use the laser gun in conjunction with the Slim Fast. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah. Traditional fat guy screen. So you can see over here, randomly, Ginkus is just kind of peeking around the corner. Hard to say why, but, he does pop up in interesting places. Ginkus, of course, is he was the protagonist of, way back in the day, this paper computer game, Last of the Zerelta. He was the king of the Zerelta people who was conquered, and then in the last screen, he fights his way back to his Capitol building, stands on top, and holds his staff above his head, sealing off his Capitol building in a stasis field for 1,000 years. So, but ever since that time, he just kind of shows up in weird places, and, you don't really know why. But anyway, that wasn't really relevant to the game. He's just kind of there. It's a cameo. So you get past the fat guy, and it looks like there's kind of a crossroads. Oh, I guess not. You come to this here maze screen. Looks like there's some guys here, so that's probably the way you have to go. I'm sure these 2 paths lead to certain death. But as is traditional in paper computer games, after a maze screen comes a flight screen. I guess the maze screen leads to an airplane. He gets in the airplane, and then here's some fighter jets that are attacking. And, you have to duck in the clouds. This is like a really traditional flight screen. This is exactly like the flight screens in Chris's games and in my earlier games, so there isn't really much innovative about that. And then the game just kind of ends. I think... Well, never mind. So yeah, that was the first game. I used to have a tradition of writing the main boss, like the main enemy, on the back bottom of my PCGs. This one was the humans. I don't know why I had that tradition. I think it was just to remind myself of what the villain's name was, because I couldn't remember otherwise. But anyway, the reason I made this game was I just wanted to introduce a new friend to paper computer games. And so I just made a super quick, super cheap adventure that had nothing to do with anything else. But like the Mole Men games, this is gonna tie into everything else later on. But after this, she kind of liked it, so I made her more games. And the next one was this one. See, this was part 0, Prologue. This one is Alien Invasion, part 1 of 6, Evil Plans. So this time I'm actually putting more effort into the cover. See, here it's basically just that. Here I'm actually doing some illustration. The title actually has some design, but I decided this was part 1 of 6. So, but anyway, we're still playing as the Alien Advanced Scout. And this time we actually have like a backstory thing. Silently in Earth orbit, a fleet gathers. You are their advanced scout. Infiltrating human society, you have now vaporized the human leader. Oh yeah, that was what it was. At the end of this game, you're flying in the plane and you crash land at the White House and you are able to kill the president. That's what happened. So yeah, this was, that's a thing that both this game and the Mole Men games have in common, is that in both of them I was experimenting with letting you play as a villain and doing some really evil things. That's unusual for me. Most of my games, obviously follow heroes, but paper computer games can be anything. So anyway, infiltrating human society, you have now vaporized the human leader. Surely their culture will collapse. Unfortunately, this doesn't work. Hastily, you retreat, unable to make contact with your ship. You are hit with something and lose consciousness. I got a little illustration here of shooting the president, which I didn't bother to draw last screen. And by the way, we'll just note, like, the alien ships we have, these are like the main fleet, like that kind of ship I decided is the ships made by his race. But the flying saucers I usually associate with a different alien race, and in the I don't know why there's flying saucers with these guys. In this game also there was a flying saucer that dropped him off. So I don't know. It's possible that these guys are on alliance with these guys, or they had a temporary, like working together or something. It's hard to say. But anyway, so you were hit with something and lose consciousness, and you wake up here, and you are in, this is Lila, and we're in her room, and she is a sci-fi fanatic. As you can see, there's a lot of little nods in this room. We got a Star Trek poster. We got X-Files, The Truth Is Out There. We got Ship of Exploration. That was my own Star Trek fan fiction comic from a long time ago. I guess in the PCG universe, it's an actual Star Trek TV series. Over here we got her shelf. She's got a lot of little figurines. She's got a little Starship Enterprise. She's got, little aliens. She's got a little Ginkis statue. That's interesting. Wonder where she got that. This light looks kind of like a Triptosian, which is the race of, the main enemy from the second paper computer game. In that game, the main boss was this guy, Roshi Veg. He's, kind of got the tentacles and the one eye. And she's got a light fixture in the shape of that race. So she definitely knows her sci-fi. She's even wearing a UFO as a hat. So she is thrilled to have an alien in her room. And she is gonna, help this guy. It doesn't matter that he just shot the president. She thinks that's cool. She doesn't care about human politics or human... She is straight up a traitor to her civilization. She just does not care. She loves science fiction and, space and aliens so much, she's gonna betray her own people to help them. So she becomes your sidekick once you talk to her a little bit, and and then the FBI comes looking for the alien at her house, so she takes him out the secret tunnel. So here we are in the secret tunnel. She's kind of taking him, but then there's like a spike and there's a chasm, so I think you had to throw something at the spike, which makes it fall, and then it creates a bridge across the chasm. You have to get to that door. Then we come up and we're arrested by tanks anyway. Despite, and the sun is, for some reason, I mean, this was a tradition in my drawing at the time, making the sun, giving him a face, and, I don't know why, but it's kind of weird in this setting, but, whatever. So, I mean, it's just a cameo, it has nothing to do with the story, but anyway. Okay, so there's the tanks. You had to get past them. I forget what the puzzle is here. But you had to get past the tanks in some way, because the next screen, we're just in a maze screen. I don't think we were actually captured. I'm pretty sure we just got past the tanks. And we end up here, and we have to, of course, make our way around to this here bomber. I guess this is kind of like a lazy maze. I mean, I gave it a little bit of complexity, but it's, I don't know, it doesn't really have any puzzles in it or any enemies, or it's just kind of basic. But anyway, as is tradition, once you get there, you get to a plane, maze screen, there's always a flight screen afterwards. And this plane, though, it looks like a stealth bomber. So now we're flying over, this is New Jersey, which is where I live, and these locations, so this is the first flight screen. Like most flight screens, you just see clouds or whatever. This flight screen, I guess you're lower, so we can make out actual locations on the ground, and the idea is, we're this bomber over here. The idea is to bomb them. And these are all locations that I know in New Jersey, like Edison, I have friends there. Union City, I used to have friends there. Montclair, used to have friends there as well. Bogota, you have friends there as well. And Englewood, that's where I'm from. And then you got New York City. You have to bomb all these locations. I don't know why I'm just totally blowing up my own area, but that was what you had to do. And once that's done, oh gosh, the sun. You're kind of flying into that zany sun, and it's to be continued. And now that New Jersey is in flames below you, the sun looks kind of happy about that. So I don't know what that's all about, but that is that game. So that was part 1 of 6. We had part 0 and part 1. And now, we have part 2, the world's reaction. And you can kind of tell I wasn't putting as much effort into this one as the previous one. It was just kind of like another game, just trying to continue the storyline. Because, I had said that it's 1 of 6, so I had to make 6. But, I don't know, I guess I lost my zeal for it. I don't know why. But anyway, here's part 2. And the cover didn't come out so well. It's like a guy kind of in an alleyway. And this game, actually, the focus shifts. We're not playing as the alien advanced scout. We're not playing as this guy anymore. We're shifting to a new character now, but, where this is, kind of reacting to the events of the previous 2 games. So here's our little backstory thing. You are John D. Whitmore. So already we're a human again. We have a little, a newscaster over here. And The newscaster says, a group of terrorists has bombed the following group of towns in northern New Jersey: Englewood, Edison, Union City, Montclair, Bogota, and New York City. The TV tells you as you sit in your bar. So, obviously that's what just happened. But the interesting part about that is that the humans are calling it terrorists. They haven't yet realized that this is an alien invasion that's underway, or an advanced scout from an alien invasion. We think it's terrorists. A tape is shown in which known terrorists such as Osama bin Laden and the rich kid admit responsibility for the attacks. Security is tightened and the military prepares to take action. So, obviously you know who Osama bin Laden is. The rich kid was one of the villains from Chris's original paper computer games. He was like, just a rich kid who liked to capture people and torture them, and I clashed with him a lot. So this is just a little nod to that, so saying that the rich kid is still active in the PCG universe even after all these years. He's still a terrorist, still causing trouble, and he's thought of as a terrorist. But anyway, even so, the feeling of unity which was present after 9/11 isn't here now. Somehow no one in the bar believes that the terrorists had anything to do with this. A sense of fear and dread grips everyone. You close the bar, deciding to go home and relax. You pass a strange alley on the way back. A shadowy figure whispers from the alley. Psst! You're about to run past, but something makes you stop. Who are you, you ask? I know who really made those attacks, whispers the voice, but I can't talk here. Follow me if you wish to know more. Knowing you could be walking to your death, you follow the shadowed figure into a dark hole. Alice in Wonderland, you think to yourself. And so you follow him into the dark hole, and then here you have to get past all these puzzles. I don't know, there's down this ladder there's spikes, down this one there's a mine. I think you just had to figure out to kind of jump off the ladder and over that way, but yeah, I don't see what the problem was here. And surprisingly, it took her a while to figure out. But, whatever. So, then over here, we climb down another ladder, and there's buttons everywhere. And a gun? I don't remember what the puzzle was here, honestly. So, what happens on the next screen? Now we have... I'm pretty sure this is exactly the same puzzle as this game. We had, it's a cave, and there's a spike over a chasm. Spike, chasm. You were even coming from the same side of the screen. I guess I just, forgot that I'd done this before? I don't know, but it is the exact same puzzle. Clearly the quality of the alien invasion games has gone down. It's a bigger spike this time, though, so that's something. But the puzzle was probably the same. You had to throw something at this and make it fall and then use it as a bridge. Alright, well, anyway. So we get to the control center, and look who it is. It's Zuvak. Zuvak, in case you don't know or haven't watched the previous videos, is he is a robotic clown on a stick, and he's from Chris's old games from when we were kids. And he's somebody I rescued from the company, which was an evil company that's, that created him. And he was forced to do evil for the company, but then ever since I rescued him, he's been a good guy. He's been trying to fight against the company. So, Zuvak has this, hidden headquarters underground, I guess. And, he's got all these screens, he's got control panels and screens, and he's standing on, a weird oval. And, he's kind of monitoring various situations. So I guess Yipit from the Mole Men games. Like in the first Mole Men game, we saw Yipit also similarly has all these screens, and he's monitoring different things, including Zuvak, including Ginkis, and all that kind of stuff. Zuvak also is monitoring a lot of things going on in the PCG universe. Here is the alien fleet, or one of the alien ships in orbit of Earth. Here, here's another planet. I think this is the roof of the tower of Ginkis' tower on the planet Shri. So, anyway, so Zuvak seems to have recruited this new guy, John D. Whitmore, to fight against the aliens. Now that he's gotten past the trials, that he's got, John's gotten past the puzzles in the earlier screens, he's proven himself, and now Zuvak can, tell him everything he knows, that the Earth is being invaded by aliens, and that John has to help him overcome them. So Zuvak sends this guy, John D. Whitmore, on a mission, and this mission is to infiltrate the Xanderia missile base, which is from Xanderia, if you'll recall, is from this game, the Mansion of Mystery. She was one of the suspects in this mystery game. So let's see if I can find her. Yeah, no. Xandria, and yeah, here we go. This was Xanderia. She was sitting in a chair, and you had to kind of interview her, and it turns out she did commit the murder. So she, at the end of this game, she's arrested, but I guess a missile base that her family built is still up and running. So you had to break into it. Then here we have the receptionist for the missile base, and my conceit with her was that, this is still, me being, goofy. I hadn't decided to take on more realism yet. My conceit with the receptionist is that she will help you with anything. She's so helpful that no matter what you want, she will make sure it happens for you. So, pretty much the puzzle here is you just have to straight up ask her for what you want. And your mission, by the way, is that you have to launch these missiles at the alien ship in orbit. And if you ask her to do that, she will make it happen. But you have to figure out to ask her that. Because normally you'd think, I'm not going to outright say that. I have to somehow commandeer this place. But the trick is to ask her. And then, boom! A hole is blown in the alien ship once the missiles are launched. And so I guess that the alien mothership is destroyed. But is that the end? And here we've got an inventory screen. I didn't really have much in here. Just a gun and a baseball. So it's kind of an interesting logo at the top there. E is a traditional inventory screen logo, by the way. But yeah, so that is the Alien Invasion games. I never finished it. This was supposed to be part 1 of 6. This was part 0. I never made any more. I never finished the saga. But I did kind of follow up on it in one way. Let me show you. 1 second. In my sketchbook, I made a drawing which follows up on the Alien Invasion saga and gives an end to it. It's just a drawing, but it does, it is kind of canon. Let's see, I might not be able to find it in my old drawings. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah. So this drawing, we don't know how we got there, but this is the ending of the alien invasion saga. We see Zuvak. He's clearly been charred. His face is kind of burned off a little bit. Some of his hair is burned off, and he's been outfitted with these giant mechanical arms. But he is victorious, and here's like smoke from a crashed alien ship having crashed into the White House. Here's fighter jets shooting down some of the remaining alien ships. They're the same design as the alien fleet we saw. And now this is... And we can see, like, it says, victory over our invaders thanks to Zuvak. And we see the crowd, like, hail King Zuvak, our savior. This is called, like, the banner says Inauguration Day, and in Spanish, El Día de Inauguración, which is Inauguration Day. And the sign says, the true Messiah, Zuvak, the first and best ruler. Long live Zuvak. So, clearly everyone is very thankful to Zuvak for saving the planet from the aliens, and they have appointed him as sort of like the temporary president of the United States, or indeed of the world, since so much of the world's governments were destroyed during the saga, and Zuvak they're letting him kind of temporarily step in to get things back on their feet. This is hard to reconcile with the rest of the paper computer games. I don't know how this fits in, but I do consider it canon. These alien invasion ships and that race does appear in like other games such as Balzac Lobotron, which we'll talk about in a later video. But regardless, that was the alien invasion saga, and this image brings a nice end to it. We don't know how we get from, to this ending. Like, there's a lot more, there were supposed to be 6, so this would have been parts 0, 1, and 2, so there should have been 4 more games in between, these events and this, but, maybe someday I'll make them. What do you guys think? Should I? But in the meantime, so that is the Alien Invasion Saga. Thanks for watching, folks. And next time we'll cover some more paper computer games, and I think those will get back more to the main story that we've been following, Pierre, Ari, and, well, Zuvak again. Yeah, thanks for watching.